Megabass releases 3 new colors in the 6-inch Magdraft. Raid has us thinking about bugs and love hotels. And some of the sexiest rods you have ever seen arrive in the shop. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle. Welcome to the Hookup Tackle.
Oh, what a stud.
Yeah. Look at that.
That was sick.
Woo!
Cheers, my friends. Happy Sunday.
All right, guys, some breaking news.
What's new this week at the Hookup Tackle?
What a beautiful post-spawn fish.
Look at that.
Look at that gut on that. That's a nice fish.
Welcome back, my friends. I am Ben with the Hookup Tackle, the Tackle Taku on Instagram, being joined by my buddy Jeffrey the King. Jeffrey the King, happy Sunday morning.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
How are you? You look tired.
Yeah.
Do you need some caffeine? I have an extra Orion.
Caffeine?
Uh-huh.
I don't think there's caffeine in beer.
It's natural. It's the bubbles and the wheat, the water.
The wheat and the water. Okay.
Good hydration.
I
Would
see.
you like one?
No, I'm fantastic without it.
That's my favorite part of Sunday.
Isn't it?
Getting denied.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Cheers, my friends. Happy Sunday. Hope you're having an amazing weekend. Just as a quick heads up, this is your 1-week warning.
Oh, God.
Mother's Day is coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
Don't screw this up.
Don't fuck it
Okay?
up.
So a lot of you guys have amazing wives that put up with your nonsense and your addiction for fun stuff. So treat them to something nice. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, also as a word of warning, you're not going to want to miss our Mother's Day drop. So
Oh, God.
apologize now to your wives that you're going to have to take some time away from them. Like, you need to carve yourself out a little special moment on Mother's Day too, right? Or watch it with them. Maybe we should do that. We should have a special Mother's Day. I tell you what, for the first half of that show, it'll be nice and PG and family friendly. You can watch it with your kids. You can watch it with your wife. It'll be great.
Okay.
Okay, no promises. Cheers.
So that means you won't be drinking beer.
Family friendly, of course. How do you think every dad survives children? How do you think your dad did it, Jeff? Sadly, he probably didn't have Orion,
No, you definitely.
the beer that
definitely
allows dads to survive parenthood. Cheers to all you and everybody else.
didn't. Is that how you get by?
It's one of the ways.
Wow.
Yeah, very important. By the way, we are the Hookup Tackle USA. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle, where we talk about some really dope new drops, some important restocks, and we just in nonsense, basically. Okay, so let's get out of the nonsense and into the cool stuff. Okay, Megabass has been teasing us with all kinds of cool new colors coming in all kinds of baits. This week we start right here with the hottest Swimbait in the world, the 6-inch Magdraft. We see 3 brand new colors arrive in this. Now, all of these are SPC colors, which means special run colors, but the plan is for all of these to become part of core over time. Okay, so what that means is 3, 4, 5 years into the future, these will probably be on the shelf right next to albino pearl shad and whiteback shad and more readily available. Right now, they're gonna sell out and they're gonna fly out of here like crazy because they're new, they're limited. So if they speak to you, you're gonna want to scoop these up so you can get them in your arsenal this spring. Okay, so we have 3 new colors and I'm gonna take each one of these out. So let's start right here. This one is Pro Blue Chartreuse. Basically, it's a sexy shad. And it's a good one. So Pro Blue Chartreuse. Now, I don't think I need to talk about 6-inch Magdraft. I think everybody knows 6-inch Magdraft. Probably the single most effective rigged swim bait on the market. Super easy. You tie it on, you throw it. You can add a snap or add a swivel, and that'll allow you to get a little bit extra speed out of it. It's a rigged bait that's got internal weighting. There's also a magnet inside. The design is to hold the hook in place. It doesn't really do anything for me, but it is there. Most of the time I just stick that hook in like that and go for it. It's a bait that just flat catches them pretty much everywhere. So there you go. Pro Blue Chartreuse is kind of that nice kind of Pro Blue top, little chartreuse hit, and then like a clear sparkle belly. So it's a very natural bait fish pattern. When I hold it up to the light, it's fully transparent. So even in clear water, you'll be able to throw that guy. So there's color number 1. Color number 2 is this guy. This is Borealis Shad. This is one that I'm pretty excited about because it's basically Ghost Minnow. So, you know, they've had MB Gizzard, which is a similar style color, but this one is toned a little bit different to really look natural. So this is going to be a great one to imitate a shad. It's kind of trippy because when I look at it from here, it's got kind of like a greenish chartreuse hue. And then here it's got kind of like a purpley pearl hue. So definitely a two-tone depending on if the sun's hitting it here or if it's getting backlit from the sun. But again, going to be a great one to add. That's Borealis Shad. And then finally, we see Ghost Shad Solid. Now, Ghost Shad was a color that they released at the Classic that was like a full transparent. This is basically just a take on that bait. It's just got a little bit more body to it. So it's kind of like a French pearl with some flake. So if you think of albino pearl shad, it's more of like a red pearl. This is more of like a transparent blue pearl. It's going to be absolutely deadly and a great addition to it. So there you go, guys. 3 brand new colors from Megabass in the 6-inch Magdraft. Those are available right now. All right, Jeff, we talk about Respect Series drops here a lot. And something that Megabass started to do earlier this year is Respect Series, but with rods. And they call that series the Craftsman Pride series. Okay, so today we have the official drop of Craftsman Pride episode 4. This is a super dope one. Okay, so if this speaks to you, you guys are going to want to grab this because it's a one-time run. All of these are one-time runs. Now, what the Craftsman Pride is they basically, just like the Respect series for lures, they go back in the history of some of their favorite rods. They take what made that rod so amazing, they put new tech in it, and then they handcraft a limited batch of that model as just a one-time re-release just to be cool, right? So this is their top rod craftsman at the factory building these. So I introduce to you maybe if I put it in my hands, relax, I've had a couple sips, right? It's early. White Python 2. This is one of the coolest looking rods. I mean, they just crushed it on this. So they took the original White Python, they went back to the roots and put this beautiful snake scaling on it. They incorporated a lot of the original tech along with some of the new tech to build a brand new, just incredibly elegant version of this rod. Now, a lot of you guys are familiar with the White Python in the Destroyer Evolution line, which is where it lives right now. The original White Python was Megabass's first stab at a big bait rod, right? And it has kind of paved the groundwork for them to continue getting into big bait rods because it was so well received in Japan and it was so well received in the US. So in Japan, it was a rod that was throwing, you know, some smaller glides, you know, frogs and super heavy cover. There wasn't really a rod like this at the time. In the US, it was a rod that guys were throwing, you know, some like Castaic hard heads on, some big cranks, because there wasn't really like dedicated big crank rods at the time. And so it just became a super sought after rod. And Megabass has incorporated a lot of that old tech. So the original one was a metal wrap. So they took a lot of that same old metal, put it with the new 3D construction. So you still have, there's a rare metal outer coating. There's titanium graphite running down the entire rod. They've got a new designed kind of matte black reel seat and lockdown. You've got this little bit of EVA foam here for your finger to sit, so you can have it sit on foam or metal depending on where you want your hand to be. It's just exquisite. A new trigger system that's super comfortable and ergonomic. You guys are gonna dig it. Now, compared to the current Evolution, this one is a little bit more parabolic through the midsection. So the current white python in Destroyer Evolution has got it bend to the tip and it's pretty fast. This one's gonna be a little bit more straightforward. It's got the same lure rating, 3/8 to 4 ounce. I think it's gonna be an amazing one for all the same stuff that the current one's doing, right? I think you could even push 4 ounce on this. Jeff and I were playing with it. Jeff, what are your thoughts on it?
It's a 2 to 4 ounce rod.
Yeah, that's really where it's going to
Comfortable.
shine. Yeah. So, you know, your rats, your canines, your that kind of stuff, going to be amazing on this. If you want to use it as a deep crank rod, it's parabolic enough to where you could throw something like a Big M or something like that on it and do well also. So, $6.99, they're not cheap, but they are incredibly limited. This is a one-time offer, so if you want just an exquisite piece of art that's incredibly highly functional, this is your chance. By the way, all of these Craftsman probably are going to have the same 3-year warranty from Megabass that all of their rods have, okay? So there you go. One of the most killer looking sticks that I've seen from Megabass in ages. The White Python too, those are available while supplies last, and just the most beautiful silk kind of snake skin cool sock. So there you go, guys, available now. All right, staying on Megabass and staying on rods. This is probably one of the coolest rod weeks that I've seen, maybe ever. Okay, so I love big rods like what we just saw, but you also know that I am a super nerd when it comes to BFS rods, and this is a rod that I have been dying to get in the shop ever since we saw them back in Japan, the finished version. This is the Great Hunting Huntsman series of BFS rods. Okay, so these are going to come in 4 different options. They come with this harder outer shell that you can extend this, so you can fling it over your body if you want, and then inside is the rod. Now I've taken each one out so I can show them to you. 4 different versions. These are the most elevated bait finesse rods that Megabass has ever created. Okay, so you can see that they are just exquisitely put together, but they're put together with a purpose. So first off, you're going to notice that they have a wood grip. So each one has a different styled wood grip. So as you look at the different ones, take a couple different ones out. Each one's maybe a slightly different shape. Some are shorter, some are longer. And the idea is that they're designed to position your hand in a certain way. So depending on how the rod is built, they might be positioning your hand to where it's more, you know, in the pocket so you can make little wrist flicks. They might position your hand to where it's more tipped down so you can jerk and twitch and, you know, do that kind of stuff with. So they've really thought it through. Each wood grip is hand carved. They've come out with a new trigger and reel seat. The reel seat fits either a traditional round style BFS reel or a low profile, which is pretty dope. Because usually when you see, you know, traditional built rods like this, they really only fit the round ones, but you can choose. So if you want to put like a Steez Air or a Silverstream Custom or something on there, no problem. If you want to put a Calcutta BFS or something like that, no problem. The rods are built specifically with small stream to kind of, you know, mid-sized rivers or smaller bodies of water in mind, specifically built for their Great Hunting series. So if you guys are fishing little ponds, this is going to be right up your alley. If you're fishing streams and really fast, this is going to be right up your alley. So there's 4 different models. I'm going to fly through them with you. Okay, so actually let's do this. Let's start with the smallest one, which is this guy. Okay, so this is the 4'8" 3-piece ultralight. Okay, so this is going to be a 1 to 6 gram. This is going to be the lightest one. This is going to be for throwing those smaller Great Hunting 45s, little nano siglets, that kind of stuff, where you just really need a little precise little roll cast. This is the stick for that. Going up slightly more power, right, would be this guy, and this is going to be the 5'3" 3-piece ultralight. So it's just a little bit longer. just a touch more power for more of like the sinking style, right? So again, staying in that great hunting 45 or 50, but more of the sinking, a little faster current, then this guy is the one that you're gonna want. The next model is going to be this dude. Now we're seeing a different color in the wood. This is a little bit longer handle, and this one is designed more to kind of be tip heavy. So this is designed more for twitching and pulling and just giving you a different feel in the water. This is a 6-foot 4-piece light. Okay, so 2 to 10 gram rods. So this is going to be for a little bit bigger water, maybe slightly heavier stuff. You could go really almost all the way to 3/8 of an ounce on this and be right in the wheelhouse. So that's the 6-footer. And then finally, there is a 511 4-piece light. Okay, and this is also going to be a 2 to 10 gram. So back to, you know, putting that little pistol grip in to where you can make little twitches. This is also called the Tanabera Special. So this is a Megabass performance work rod that Yuki Ito kind of custom spec'd for his own use. He kind of combined that 6-footer and the 5.3 into one that he really wanted. So 4 models right now. This is a one-time offering. Megabass is super excited about knocking it out of the park with these rods. So we're hoping that we will see these eventually end up possibly as a core offering, or at least a semi-regular offering from Megabass. But for now, it is a one-time offering. $6.99 also on these. Same warranty applies. So there you go. If you're a BFS nut, there is a beautiful stick for you. Those are available right now. All right, while we're talking about swim baits, our friends over at 316 have refilled some of our shelves, and we've expanded the color lines in the 6-inch weedless. So I know we just showed you the 6-inch mag. This is the 6.5-inch Rising Son weedless version. This is a super dope one. So this is kind of the next step up without getting into like a true 8 or 9 or 10-inch swim bait. New packaging, new colors from these. They're going to come 2 to a pack. These fit great with like an 8/0 beast hook. Perfect on them. So we see the entire color line expand. So colors like Dirty Chartreuse, Sunfish, Drag Queen, De-Ice, all these come into the 6-inch weedless version. Now, just in case you're not familiar, the Rising Son is available in a line through, which is the original. They also make a line through top hook designed to have the hook up top, and of course the weedless version that we just showed you. Also fresh in from 316 is the entire line of 5-inch line through. So we brought most of these in a couple weeks back. The rest of the colors have arrived. So if you guys are still looking to add a line through to your arsenal, basically the difference between something like this and that Magdraft is this is also going to kind of move at a slow speed, just a little bit higher up in the column, and it's a line through swim bait. So it just has a different movement and a different action to it than something like the Magdraft. So just a good one to mix in. I would say the 5-inch line through and the 6-inch Magdraft are in the same category. Okay, because this is a thicker plastic, about the same weight. So think of that as a good alternative, but all of those are in stock now from 316. All right, guys, staying on swim baits again, we see a big restock week this week from Raid, plus some new items, new colors. I'm going to cover all that with you. Starting right here, the Osakana swimmers are back in both sizes, the 125 and the 145. This has been an incredibly good seller this year for us. A lot of you guys have had a lot of success with it. This is the most subtle of all the baits that we've talked about so far. So this is going to be more of a traditional wedge tail, super, super tight movement. It has the ability to be a line through out of the bottom or the top. Okay, so depending on which way you put your line in, it can be line through out of the bottom or line through to the top so that you can sink it down in some brush. Great baits. You know, there's like 8 or 9 colors, so those return in stock this week from Raid. Also, we see a huge restock across the board, all sizes and all colors of the Libero. So if you guys have been waiting on anything, there's a 5 gram, there's a 7 gram, there's a 10 gram and a 14 gram. So you've got 4 different sizings to choose from. Definitely an amazing underspin. Even the 14 gram is such a small little compact deal. So lots of ways to fish them. All colors and sizes are back in Liberos. Okay, jumping over to hard baits, we see a big restock in the level crank Goriller. Now, if you guys happened to watch the 1v1 that we just did. I spent some time talking about the level crank Goriller. This is an amazing crankbait for multiple reasons. A, it's a wider bodied, bigger bait. So as it comes through the water, it creates a big vibration. So you're feeling it just thumping at the end of your rod, a lot like you would feel like a chatterbait. So it creates a lot of vibration without having any internal sound to it, right? So the fish can feel it, but it's not overly intrusive. The other thing is that this hook here is actually attached into a chamber into the body of this bait. So if you were actually to like take some pliers and twist, this is actually screwed into like a tungsten chamber that keels this bait. So as this bait moves side to side, the hook is actually staying put. So the hook isn't swiveling with this bait like traditional crankbaits, it's staying right there. So what happens is when the fish come up and get it, they get that front hook every time, which eliminates almost all the ways that fish find to use leverage to toss the crankbait. Okay, so if you're fishing and they're short striking your crankbait, or you need something that's just got a lot of wobble to it, you guys will absolutely love the level crank Goriller. It's definitely become a staple in my arsenal. So all the key colors, Bait Japan, Chai Gill, Citrus Shad, all of those return from Raid in that guy. We also see a return plus some new colors in the Raid 2 side. So the most exciting new color, Love Hotel. Okay, so if you guys aren't familiar with Love Hotels, Jeff, this is one of your favorite things in Japan, right?
Yeah, dude. I'm such a huge fan of Love Hotels.
Yeah, why?
Because it's a hotel, and the customer service is just all love.
Is that what it is? So Love Hotels, if you guys aren't familiar with Love Hotels, they're basically a place for cheaters. I mean, it's Griff's favorite place. Not that he's a cheater, but you know, it's basically a place where if you want to just go and get busy for an hour, you go, right? That's what it is. Okay, so this beautiful color, Love Hotel, is available now. Was that cringy? You're smiling and your head's down. Did I not say that right?
I think you nailed it.
I do too.
It's a great color.
All right, let me start over. Love Hotels are one of my favorite places to bring the family. What's great about them is that you can pay by the hour. So, you know, you don't get screwed with like all those extra charges.
Too.
And they're literally everywhere.
Yeah, you can go in.
So any block you're at, you don't have to book ahead.
Yep.
You just show up and be like, hey, I need a room for 11 hours.
Yeah.
And it's perfect.
The kids love it. There's a lot of activities you can do.
There's many different themes.
Yes. Yep.
So there's lots of things for them to touch and to play with. It's great. Okay, back to this.
So this
bait.
is the color.
Yeah, this is the color, Love Hotel. And this is the bait, the Raid 2 side. Now, at first looks, it's gonna look like just like a traditional kind of like, you know, prop style bait, but you'll notice that the line tie is actually offset, right? It looks like it's a mistake. But the reason it's like that is it causes this bait to walk beautifully. So it's got an incredible walk to it. It's a really cool topwater that's half walking bait, half kind of prop bait. You guys will catch a ton of fish. So all the good key colors, natural ones, you know, Bait Japan, Chai Gill, Clown, like all that stuff, plus the most beautiful Love Hotel color. Return. Griff, I feel wrong even doing a Love Hotel segment without you here. Jeff said Love Hotels are his favorite place in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. So
They're the only place to be in.
correct. Yeah. Available now. Man, that was a derailed segment. All right, staying in restocks and some new color additions to one of the most talked about jerkbaits in this store over the last year is the Raid Level Minnow. So there's two versions. There's a Level Minnow and a Level Minnow Plus or Level Minnow MR, basically just a deeper diving version. The Level Minnow is one of those baits. It's a little bit longer than a 110, but it casts incredibly well. This is one that almost everybody here has added to the arsenal, especially if you guys are having to throw into wind or make super long casts. You guys will love this if you try it. Get one, try it, compare it to the other jerkbaits in your lineup, and you will see, like, holy shit, that thing actually throws super far and they eat it. Okay, so all of the good key colors are back in both sizes from Raid. Those return. A new bait from Raid, and they've been pushing this one hard. So getting back to what we talked about earlier with the little cool Huntsman rods and BFS, a new BFS bait from Raid. Now, this is a super small drop. These are gonna sell out really fast. I will do my best to get them back in, expand the color line. But I introduced to you the Raid Ping. Okay, so this is a super small little crankbait. I'll take one out here and we'll take a look at it. Let me spec it out for you too. 32 millimeters, 1/8 ounce. So an 1/8 ounce crankbait. Jeff, are you adding this to your arsenal?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you've been waiting for the Ping?
I've been waiting my whole life.
Hell yeah.
Here she is.
So, the Ping, no cast system, right? It's an 1/8 ounce.
You're on
It's
your
gonna
own.
be difficult to throw unless you have the right gear to throw it on. But if you have the right gear to throw it on, this is a killer. They're talking about this bait being an incredibly wide wobble, great cover deflection, getting down into potentially that 6 to 8 foot zone for something that's really, really tiny. So if you're a BFS freak and you're looking to just add to the arsenal of small cranks, the Pings are available now. All right, a big restock and a bunch of soft plastics from Raid. Griff did an amazing hover shot video with you out in one of our urban lakes, and we plowed through a bunch of the plastics, right? And a lot of you guys have been using those and throwing them and having some really good success, which is awesome to see, right? So one of those baits is the Raid fish roller. So the 3-inch size specifically is, you know, for hover shot or little light finesse is amazing, but all the key colors in both the 3-inch and the 4-inch return from Raid. So the fish rollers are back. Battle Hog 3.3s also make a return. This is an incredible little trailer on a finesse jig. You can free rig it. You can drop shot it. You can do a lot of different things with this. So it's their kind of creature crawl bait, but really just an amazing jig trailer. All the key colors in those return. The Egu Chunks return in the 3-inch and the 3.5-inch size. So the 3-inch have just been flying out of here. An amazing little crawl chunk on a finesse jig. Okay, so if you guys are looking for something just a little bit different, you know, most, if you put like that, you know, little crawl that I just showed you, or you put a Doe Live crawl, something like that, they're gonna have just kind of a more traditional soft plastic look. The chunk is gonna give you like that actual kind of movement that sometimes triggers them. The 3-inch is perfect for that. Those are back. Full swings are back, all sizes, all colors, an amazing paddle tail bait from Raid. It's got an incredible, just really hard wobble to it. Those return also from Raid. All right, and while we are on restocks, these guys have been flying out of here. I guess it's the time when little finesse jigs are really doing something, right? So all the Egu Dama jigs are back. So they have an Egu Dama level type that's designed to fish horizontally, so you can kind of just lift it and drop it. It's a great hair jig alternative as well. There's a level type heavyweight, so these are going to be available in like a 7 gram and a 9 gram, so you could actually throw it on like normal jig stuff and have a super compact jig that's perfect for fishing on the bottom, doing different stuff. There is a Egu Dama cover type, so this is a good one for like actually pitching into bushes and really finesse flipping. And of course the Egu Bugs are designed to go on the back of them. So the total package is just a really small, compact, very finessey looking item moving through the water. Great when fishing is tough, where you just need a really small profile. So all of those return this week from Raid. Okay, last week we did the drop on OSP rubber dice, and thank you guys very much for the business. It was crazy. I've never seen 3,000 packs of dice just evaporate out of here so quickly, literally minutes, right? So thank you guys very much. Put them to use. You're gonna love them. It's a ridiculous bait that actually catches fish. This next bait is a very similar bait to that. It's kind of designed in a very similar way, and this is the Raid 2-way. Now, this is a bait that's obviously a little bit buggy, right? But designed to have the same kind of idea as the dice, to where you can fish it weightless and it's just gonna slowly sink and quiver right in front of their face, and they're just not sure what to do with it, so they eat it. You can fish it on a drop shot, you can fish it on a little weighted wacky hook and just kind of shake it around. Lots of different options you can do. Now they make this in several different sizes. This week we see the actual 2-way size show, which is the first time that we've carried it. So tons of colors, from green pumpkin to white chartreuse to shrimps to smokes, right? We also see a big restock in the little 2-way, so that's the little tiny version. And then we also see a big restock in the Magnum 2-way. So if you just want a monstrous thing to throw at them, you have that option as well. So new colors, new size, restocks on the old 2-ways are back in a big way from Raid. Very quickly, before we jump to more product, just really wanted to say thank you on behalf of myself and Carmen and everybody here at the Hookup Tackle. Last week I let you guys know that Carmen's been out for a couple weeks in the hospital and had to have a surgery. And she did have that surgery. She's back home. She's recovering. She's doing great. But so many of you took the time out to give her well wishes and, you know, wish her the best. And that means a lot. We're all family here. So seeing that and seeing that you guys took time to do that meant a lot to all of us. So thank you guys very much. She's healing up great. Keep the rest of our staff in your prayers because they still have to deal with me for another week or two in her role, which is not a good place. So, you know, pray for them that they don't all just jump off a cliff. Okay, there we go. Back to baits. Duo Realis, some cool new drops and some expansions on some color lines this week. We'll start with soft plastic. So this is a bait that they released earlier this year called the G-Fix T Hog. Now this is a back gliding bait designed to look like a turtle. Jeff and I had this argument, right? Two new colors, green pumpkin, actually three new colors. There's a green pumpkin chartreuse that I didn't grab, and June bug. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with this bait, I'll take this one. You can never go wrong with a green pumpkin. It's a perfect imitation of a turtle. I don't know what you're seeing, Jeff. But if you rig this backwards, it's designed to back glide. It has, you know, the little curly arms, so it's got some movement. But the idea behind that flatter turtle shell type shape is that it can glide further and shallower, where most backglide baits are more round and bulbous so that the weight kind of pulls them down. This one is designed to skim shallower but still get you a lot of distance. So if you're trying to keep it higher in the column but still get back there, this could be a great option for you. That is the T Hog from Duo. All right, one of our best selling soft plastics of the year to Griff's. I don't know, he rolls over every time Ned Rig is brought up, but this bait has absolutely been flying out of here. This is the Duo Realis Wriggle ND Slim. Is back in all of the key colors. So colors like Tundra is back, Bottom Dweller, both of the CS, so the Rock Melon and the Raw Bellies are back. If you guys aren't familiar with this, if you haven't been watching the drops, a lot of you are probably right in the middle of Ned season, especially you northern anglers. This is just an alternative to your Finesse TRD. Okay, it's gonna be that, you know, very similar elastomer style plastic, but super transparent, salted, flavored, scented, and it's got an action that's totally different. So instead of the TRD just falling, it's got an actual kick to it as it falls, kind of that dolphin kick as it moves. So you're getting some action while having that same just really finessey little plastic. So if you're a Ned Rig guy, it's a great time to re-up or scoop those up. Those are back. And then in between that Wriggle ND Slim and the next bait I'm going to talk about, there is the Wriggle Stick. That's what started. It's a 4-inch kind of cover scat style bait, right? So Duo wanted to bridge that gap with a brand new Wriggle Stick. I introduced to you the Wriggle Stick 3.0. Okay, so now you've got options. Now you've got that 4-inch that we've had, that a lot of you guys have been catching fish on. You have the Ned version, which I just showed you, and now you have just a straightforward 3-inch version. Now, this guy's gonna be super versatile, okay? So where that one was made out of an elastomer material that's real high float, designed for a Ned Rig, this is a heavy salted bait that's designed like a cover scat or a Senko to kind of get down at the bottom. But it's a small enough bait to where you could also still Ned Rig this. So if you want a faster Ned Rig or deeper Ned Rig, or maybe like a tube alternative, right? To where you're fishing it quicker and you're snapping it and you're really wanting to get that kind of snap and then fall down. And instead of the bait just sitting high, you want it to actually land and then kind of thump down. This can be a great alternative for you as well. Of course, you can fish it on like a 1/0 hook and just have it kind of go down like a Senko. It's going to have a great shimmy fall and a great tail kick if it is on a jig head. So you've got options, okay? So all kinds of colors in this. You're seeing all the colors transfer over from the original Wriggle Stick. So you've got colors like green pumpkin, blue flake. You've got watermelon seed. You've got your coppers, your blacks, so on and so forth. And there's also a couple of new colors in there as well. Smoked shrimp is new. Oh, there's the green pumpkin chartreuse T Hog. Too many things. And that guy is new. The light green pumpkin blue is new as well. So options, right? Different tools, different jobs. So the Wriggle Stick 3.0, those are available now. All right, Jeff, let's talk about Duo Realis jerkbaits, some of our best-selling jerkbaits. Made in Japan, great quality, good hooks right out of the box, 14 bucks, like priced really well. We see some big color expansions come through the line. So I'm gonna kind of fly through these, okay? So, jerkbait 85, we see 3 new colors. We see a new bone color, it's called Beast Bone. We see a clear chartreuse halo, pretty sick one. And then we see Fusilier. Nice French chartreuse color, okay? So 3 new colors in the 85. We jump over to the 110 and we see a huge color expansion in some colors that are kind of crazy that they never had, like Ghost Pearl. Like that's wild to me that they haven't been there. But there's a new Pro Blue color in there, some really cool shad colors, and then restock on a bunch of traditional colors as well, like Corvette Yellow and Rainbow Trout and that kind of stuff in the 110. 120 also see some new colors and a big restock in some of the key colors as well that you guys have been waiting for. So if you love Duo jerkbaits, this is a great week to check them out. Pretty much everything is in, plus some new colors you've never seen before in sizes. Those are in from Duo. All right, we also see a bunch of colors return that we haven't seen in a really long time in Duo Spinbaits. Okay, so Spinbait 80s and Spinbait 90s. 90s particularly are getting some really great restocks in colors. So like colors like Fish Junior, AM Dawn, Ghost Pearl, you know, AM Edge. Some of the colors that we haven't seen in ages are back. So if you're a Spinbait guy or you know that this season is coming, which for most of us it is as we get towards the summer, this would be a good week to check those out. Those are in stock as well. All right, staying kind of in jerkbaits, but transitioning over to trout, Jeff's favorite topic, right? So you know the Spearhead Ryuki line, probably our #1 selling trout line of jerkbaits. I say jerkbaits because they're sinking baits that can be jerked. They're shaped like a jerkbait. Most of the time we just kind of cast them and wind them like a crankbait, right? So they can cut through current, you can fish them in still water, you can fish them anywhere, right? So we're seeing that line expand into some new sizes and a bunch of new colors this week. Okay, so over the next couple weeks, we're gonna see more and more and more of this expansion because bass guys are getting on it, BFS guys are getting on it, and trout guys are asking for, you know, bigger sizes, different colors, so on and so forth. So here is a look at the Spearhead Ryuki 110. Okay, so we're getting much bigger. So now we're into a true 110 size bait here. I'm gonna spec it out for you. So obviously it's 110 millimeters, so it's 4 3/8 inch, 21 grams. Okay, so it's 3/4 of an ounce. So this is a bait that's going to sink very, very fast. We see some really dope colors land in this thing. I'll take one out just so you can have an idea of the shape and the size. So you can see that it's weighted on the bottom, so it's gonna pull this bait down and you're basically gonna swim it in. It's gonna have just a really natural swim through the water. You can pop it, you can twitch it. It comes with big, good Duo treble hooks on it already. So this might be a really good color or bait size addition to your lineup depending on how you fish, where you fish, what you're doing. Again, super popular line. It's not gonna be right for everybody, but the 110 gets a bunch of new colors from Yamames to rainbow trouts to, you know, shad type colors. All kinds of stuff in the 110S are available now from Duo. It doesn't stop there though, Jeff. 95S. Also a bunch of new colors. Now this is the 95S WT. WT stands for weighted, so these are designed and weighted for saltwater. So they're 95 millimeters, but 17 grams, so 5/8 of an ounce. They're designed to sink very fast. So they'll cut through surf, they'll cut down in the salt. If you're a freshwater guy, you can use this to your advantage to get much deeper. So they made a batch, even though it's designed for salt and is salt safe, they made these in freshwater colors so you can use them if you want to use them, okay? So we're seeing some really dope freshwater colors. We're also seeing expansion in some of the saltwater colors as well. So a big expansion in that size this week from Duo. Those are available now. And then back to more traditional trout size, the 70S. This is a great one for lakes, bigger rivers, 3/8 of an ounce. We see all kinds of colors expand in this guy this week. So there's a new black and white. There's some different Yamames from natural to gold. There's, what do we got here? We got Wakasagi's in. We've got a super dope Iwana color in. We have a limited run color called Hokkaido, which is pretty dope. So some really cool color additions in the 70, also available now. But wait, there's more, Jeff.
Okay.
Okay, it never ends. 60S, same thing, big restock, some new colors as well. Baby salmon's in, brown trout ND are in, so those are available. 50S, also huge restock and color expansion. So we see colors like Iwana come through, some of the Yamame colors come through, those are in. 46S, color expansion. I mean, you can literally just fine tune this to anything you want to do depending on your water. So all those are available from Duo. Oh, I forgot one. The 36S. Can't forget that guy. This is their newest size. 1.5 inches, 1/10 of an ounce, so 2.8 grams. This is the smallest one that they make. Okay, so this is delicate, super cool. Huge color expansion. I think 10 new colors. So little gill patterns, there's IU patterns, there's little trouts, there's Yamames. So check those out. If this is the style of fishing that you guys do, you'll be super excited this week from Duo in the Spearhead Ryuki line. All available now. All right, Jeff, and let's wrap it with some rod and reel restocks. We don't talk about Shimano very often. There's some really dope new Shimano products coming down the pipe that we should see over the next couple weeks. This week, a major restock, probably the biggest restock we've seen from Shimano in like 2.5 years. Okay, so if you guys have been waiting on anything from Tranks to Bantams to Conquests to Stellas to Corrados, this is the time to check it out. Righties, lefties, almost all sizes in stock with Shimano. Finally, hallelujah. I don't know, maybe they found the boat that was out to sea all this time. Yeah, I don't know where it's all been, but it's finally back. Staying on Shimano, we also see a huge restock in rods, from X-Pride to Zodius to Corrados. The BFS Zodius, the BFS Corrado is back. Now, remember when these first came out, the BFS in Shimano language is not really BFS. It's more just FS, okay? So, yeah, this is 3/16 to ½ ounce lure rating. Not exactly bait finesse, right? But if you're looking for a rod to throw like a smaller, lighter crankbait, 7.2, it's technically medium light. It would be a good little like blitz crankbait rod, or some of the smaller little Megabass. It would be good on that. NRX fans will rejoice. Pretty much every model is back. Okay, across spinning and casting. So some models that we haven't seen in ages, like 901S's, little hair jig rod, 902S's. I've got some 822 drop shot rods in here. I've got the 842 and 843 SJRs, which is kind of like the NRX equivalent to a Windbuster. Those are in here. Casting rods, I've got everything. 873s, 904s, 894s, right? On and on and on. So if you're an NRX fan, you've been waiting on A models, everything is in stock now from Shimano and G. Lewis. And then, not to be outdone, Daiwa wanted to make sure that we also had plenty of restock. So if you've been looking at Daiwa reels or rods, pretty much everything is back in stock right now. We also see a return in a couple of spinning rods. We talked about that 7.6 mag medium light spinning, the one. They evaporate out of here, they are back. We also see a return of the Ned rig rod. So that was that new 610 carbon stinger tip rod that they came out with earlier in the year. Those return as well. So you can pair your Ned rig stees with your super dope Ned rig Wriggle ND Slim, and you have the ultimate combo. So if you've been waiting, those return from Daiwa. All right, guys, that is a wrap for us today. Cheers, my friends. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Some really cool things in there. I'm psyched for some of the new colors all across the board, from Duo to Raid, especially those Magdrafts that Megabass dropped. I can't wait to get the new rods out on the water. I'm super stoked. I picked up one of each, of course, because I'm just a rod whore. So I'm going to take them to my love hotel, and I'm going to enjoy my new rods. So if you guys have any questions on anything that we covered, drop it down below in the comments. I will definitely get to it. Jeff will leave links to the products. And on behalf of myself and Jeff and Griff and everybody here at the Hookup Tackle, guys, thank you for giving us time on your Sunday mornings. It means a lot to us. I know you have a gazillion things going on. So cheers to you for spending time with us. Thank you for the business. Thank you for the support. We will see you again next week on Mother's Day with some special drops. I just love interrupting family time. But we're going to make it a family hour. Okay. So perfect. Special Mother's Day family edition coming soon. Peace. Put an asterisk next to that.
Sponsored by Orion?
Yes, of course.